Hey everybody, welcome back to War Budgies. Welcome to episode 5 of Jericho Reach, our Warcaster neo-mechanika campaign. This marks the halfway point of the season. We are aiming for 10 episodes total. This is number 5. Holy crap, it has been an adventure so far, and I'm really looking forward to stuff down the road. Quick note up front, we are going to be taking a 1 episode break after this. So the next week, Warcaster would come out. There's going to be no episode. That is partly because John's kind of tired and needs a bit of a break. But also, the Collision Course Kickstarter should be fulfilling fairly soon. And as soon as all that stuff comes in, I really want to get it painted up and working so that I can get on the channel post-haste. So next week, no Warcaster. Week after that, we will kick right back into gear. So don't worry. So welcome. We're going to jump over to the Lawgiver, actually. We're doing another boarding scenario. Spoiler. So we hope you enjoy today's episode, Lawgiver.
Good of you to come visit me, Raxis.
What did you tell them, Avarice?
Are you afraid I'll spill your secrets of the Reach?
Tell me.
I think I like hearing fear in your voice. Ah, the Huntress comes for you now.
You are a deceiver. You've told them nothing.
Have I? Have I not? You're going to have to kill me, Raxis.
So our scenario today is going to be the spontaneous combustion skirmish scenario from the rulebook. The way it works is we have 3 objectives. Over here by the AC's deployment zone, we have objective 1, objective 2 here in the center, objective 3 is over by the ISA's deployment zone. At the end of each pulse round, you will score points based on which ones you hold. You'll score 1 point if you hold the one closest to your zone, 2 points if you hold the one in the middle, and 3 points if you hold the one closest to your opponent's deployment zone. And here's our representatives from Team Continuum. Sort of a smaller count here. We're going solo heavy for today because this is thematically a raiding team. We got the Immortal Weaver up front, the Marauder, Grafter is back, and we brought 1 squad of Vassal Reavers. Here in the back is the Salsa Maker himself. This is the Scourge with the Force Rod, Rocket Pod, Nailer, Crushing, Wrecking, whatever, sort of mess you up claw. Same guy as before, Relentless Cortex. And making his debut today is the Nemesis. This is the Eternus Continuum's heavy warjack. He's got wings, he's got jet engines, he's got a whole lot of attitude, and he's not happy with you. Today we're packing twin holophage cannons up here on his shoulders. Those will be good for inflicting corrosive, crippling some armor. We got a fusion scythe on one arm and a void splitter on the other one. His Cortex is the battle cruiser, so after he shoots he'll be able to make little moves here and there. His big thing is mobility. His stat line is a little weird compared to the other heavies. He is a 5 health heavy, but only with armor 3. Now every arc charge will give him +1 armor against fury and range attacks, so mostly he just doesn't want to be in melee, which is perfectly fine. He's also speed 6 and he can spike in order to triple his movement with Afterburner, and he always has the flight special rule. So this guy can get where he needs to be. Now our tall, dark, and handsome floating sarcophagus here, this is Heirotheos Raxis. He is a hero, which is not a unit type we have seen before on War Budgies. Heroes are, in his case he's a hero solo, so he functions like a normal solo. He's got a big old bag of tricks he can work with. But once he is down, he cannot be brought back to a void gate. Once he's out because there's only one of him. Otherwise, he functions very much like a Weaver. He has a spray attack. It's a little bit meaner than your average Weaver. But most of his tricks involve messing around with cipher cards. So for instance, while he's in play, the Continuum Warcaster is allowed to have a hand of 6 cipher cards at any time instead of 5. He can also channel Fury ciphers just like a Weaver could, and he can spike to return a cipher card from the discard pile to your hand. So this guy causes a great deal of cipher shenanigans. And he will be leading the team that is here to extricate or execute Avarice. And here are the brave defenders of the Lawgiver. Running up front, we've got Wells and Taria, our Paladin Weaver, Paladin Commander. Squad 1 over here. Squad 2 over here with the Aegis attachment floating around. On the back, we brought the heavy support. We've got a Firebrand Weaver, Glaive Shield, and Harbinger Cannon, Jack Hunter, Cortex. We've got the Shooty Firebrand with his rifle, his grenade launcher, his immolator, and his Recon Cortex, if I'm getting that right. Morningstar in the middle, Defender Cortex, Starburst Missiles, Null Cannon, Big Ol' Shield, Big Ol' Stabby Sword. So these guys are going to be in charge with defending the Lawgiver from the new assailants. As far as deployment, everyone's allowed to deploy 5 inches up. We are not allowing anyone to deploy within Avarice's cell because that would defeat the point of the scenario, wouldn't it? So instead we got Raxis, his cronies, we've got a squad of Reavers, a Marauder, and the Grafter himself. Sort of dialed in on objective 1 there. They're going to have to push out here to the center to make any progress. On the other end, the responding team is a bit thematic. We brought Taria and Wells. Squad 1 coming in through that room behind them with the Paladin Aegis. So that's your 5 deployment cost for each side. Let's get this show on the road. Start the AC Warcaster's turn, they will put a charge onto Raxis, which means he now gives cover to himself and friendly units within 5 inches, very much like the Paladin Aegis would. That fortifies himself in the Marauder, but the Reavers are about to go on a hike, so he will tag them with Force Barrier as the first cipher card. Reavers will go first, they will shuffle up 6 inches. Sort of duck into this corner over here. And the Grafter will move up 5 inches, approximately, just to put a foot on objective 1. Nobody's in range of shooting, and they're happy with the cipher cards for right now, so we're going to go over to gates. There's a Reavers drop a gate back here, loading it with 5 arc. If you watched the last episode where we introduced the heavies, you can probably guess what's coming out of that. Nothing more for the AC. They're looking to fortify this position because really the only way to get to objective 1 is through that doorway. So they want to make sure that doorway is held. We're going to move over to ISA turn. ISA Warcaster's turn drops an arc onto Taria because historically that has never been a bad idea. Nothing terribly useful from the cipher cards, so Taria will move up 6 inches to this doorway, bracing herself there in a very Paladin style. And she will launch her shoulder cannon into the Reavers. First shot of the game, Rat 4 with 1 arc. 2 strikes. Reavers with cover. And they block it. It is a blast weapon though, so the target takes a power 3 hit. And is fine. And Wells will come up to cover the other side of the door. There is a pyrokinetic surge in the rack right now, but his only target really would be the Reavers. And frankly, Wells is really interested in this giant floating abomination right here. So he's going to hold off. And instead he'll use Encrypted Command to remove the token from Taria. Much like their counterparts, they will drop a gate, kind of out in the open, but they'll chance it. And we'll take all these tokens together. They will likewise put 5 arc on that one. That concludes turn 1. ISA has advanced up to this doorway, taking cover. We've got Wells and Taria set up there, squad behind them. AC has seized control of objective 1, no real surprise there, so they're just looking to sit on it and hold it. And we'll see what things happen in turn 2. Start turn 2, the AC Warcaster will charge the last bit of arc onto the Marauder. It will then bless him with the divination algorithm, giving his ranged weapon +1 range and +1 POW. Marauder is very excited about this. He will shuffle up 5 inches. He's not terribly concerned about being out in the open because Raxis is here with his little cover bubble. And he'll open up with his cannon into Wells. If he can get a strafe into Taria as well, he cannot. At 4 with an arc charge. That's a good bit of shooting. 5 strikes. Wells' defense 3 in cover. And blocks it. Very sturdy bulkheads here on the Lawgiver. Only other activation to go is going to be Raxis himself, who's going to glare menacingly at Avarice through the little force field. And will then hover over to here. Mostly he just wants to be able to provide the bubble to everyone here in range while not getting a shot himself. Secondary cipher card is going to be Aggression Theorem, as the Marauder is going to take another shot at Wells. At 4 with an arc. Only 3 strikes this time. Defense 3 with cover. Wells is fine. But I neglected to roll for strafe, so does he get a shot at Taria as well? He may, maybe. He does. Trying to hit Taria. 2 strikes. Taria defense 3. Blocks it all. It's a very old school sci-fi game in the sense that everybody's shooting, but no one's managing to hit anything. Don't worry about hitting things no longer because this gate is going to flare brightly, dropping a Nemesis and the Weaver. It's starting to get a little crowded in this room. That is all 5 of its arc, and that gate collapses. AC still wants to bring in the Salsa Maker at some point, so they will throw another gate here, give it some cover from that barricade, and put, say, 3 arc on it. ISA Warcaster is in charge of Wells, which is going to extend the range of his Fury Ciphers, and he's going to launch a Pyrokinetic Surge at the Marauder. Focus 4, no arc in the tank, but he can be hopeful. Not that hopeful. Marauder's defense 2, but has cover from Raxis, and blocks it easily. Here in the back row, Squad 1 is going to move up to take custody of Objective 3. Very nice. Tari advances 6 inches up to claim Objective 2, kind of crouching down behind this crate. That's the word I'm looking for. Barricade crate. The barrel crate. I'm trademarking barrel crate, nobody use it. She's going to fire her shoulder cannon into the Marauder, hoping she can do something with the blast damage. At 4, 1 red die. Not bad, 4 strikes. Still has cover from Floating McCorpse. And just enough to block it. Take a POW 3 hit against his armor 4. Nothing happens. A lot of help from the Cypher deck right now. It is mostly unit stuff, and that unit is happy just where they are. So we're going to jump over and see what this gate spits out. See what this gate spits out as if we didn't already know. Morningstar on the field, leaving the gate with 1 arc. And Tari will drop their next gate. And we'll drop it fairly close. And put the remaining 4 arc from the well on it. Closes out ISA turn, bringing them up to controlling objectives 3 and 2. That's a total of potentially 3 points it could gain this turn, while the AC is still sitting on 1. Let's move into turn 3 of Pulse Round 1. And the AC turn, instead of charging, since the ISA didn't actually do anything to this gate, we're going to pull 1 arc off of it, putting 3 arc into the well, and then using Arcane Synthesis to load up the newcomer Nemesis. First activation goes to this Weaver, who is going to come up cautiously, just enough to draw line of sight to the big guy without actually losing her cover. And she'll use her Psychokinetic Hood to hit both the Morningstar and the gate behind him. At 3 against the Morningstar. 2 strikes. Morningstar defense 3 with no cover. Oh, 1 gets through. Now 4 against armor 5 with 1 red die. Not quite. Gonna hit the gate behind him. 1 strike. Gate defense 3. Blocks it. Realistically, the intention there was just to get her moved up so she can start throwing around some ciphers here in a second. Now it's time for the Nemesis to be the big show-off that he is. He's going to take off. Meaning here, being the big hero that the AC always wanted but never was always afraid to ask. He's got a number of tricks he can do with his speed, but he's honestly going to hold off just because it's turn 3, and those will be much more useful in the next turn. So he's just going to wedge himself here and unload with his weapons at the targets in front of him. He's going to lead off. He's back in Twin Holophage Cannon, so he's going to put the first cannon into the Morningstar. He's at 4 with 3 arc. Good opening shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually get some damage in this game finally. Defense 3 on the Morningstar. Oh, that's bad news. 5 get through. Now the Holophage Cannon is a nasty piece of work as it is, 14-inch range and POW 4. But the real problem is when you're hit by it, you suffer corrosion. So it reduces his armor by 1. POW 4, 5 strikes, and now against armor 4 because of corrosion. 3, 4. Okay, 1 health off. Because he just made a ranged attack and he has the Battlecruiser Cortex, he gets to move 1 inch. We're going to step on this barrier here because we don't care. Second Holophage Cannon is going to go into Taria. Another good hit. 4, 8. 8 strikes. Taria has cover from the barrel crate. Pretty good roll, but still 3 of them get through. Which brings Taria down to armor 2. 4 is 3 strikes. 2, yep, that does it. Thanks, corrosion. And Taria goes down. and he moves up another inch for using a range attack. Last ranged weapon is the Void Splitter, which he can actually spike to turn it into a spray. He doesn't want to at this point, he's just going to shoot it into the Morningstar. At 4, 3 arc. 3 strikes. Morningstar defense 3. Blocks it. But he doesn't have to hit for his battlecruiser to kick in, so he'll step up 1 more inch. And is now controlling objective 2, and is also in range of his fusion scythe to hack at the Morningstar. Yeah, kind of a top-down view there because it's really cool and is otherwise really hard to see what's going on in that room. Fusion scythe, he's mat 4, 3 arc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikes. Defense 3 on the Morningstar. 3 of them get through. Nothing special with the fusion scythe, it's just your average POW 4 cut you in half type weapon. Going against armor 4 now because corrosion is still in effect. And just can't quite do it. Still a very good showing, hacked his way up in here, dropped Tarja, and now controls this objective. We'll see if he can hold it against the Morningstar now that that thing's riled up. And just to finish out, they're going to throw Null Collider onto the Morningstar because really he's the only real juicy target in range. Focus 4. 4 strikes. Defense 3. Blocks it, well done. The gate behind the Nemesis collapses, and our old friend Murderface McScourgehead comes out. AC drops an insurance policy gate right back here, with the remaining 2 arc. ISA Warcaster is going to put the 1 arc they have left onto the big guy in the hopes that he can do some work and maybe get control of objective 2 back. And to that end, they're going to use momentum calibrators. When he hits a model with an equal or smaller base, which being a Morningstar is anybody, there's a chance that they're going to get slammed directly away from him and maybe off that objective so he doesn't have to burn through the Nimmies all 5 health. With that in mind, the first thing he's going to do is actually swing over on top of objective 2, get a little bit of cover from the barrel crate. His first target is actually going to be to use his Starburst missiles on the Marauder. At 4, 1 arc. Okay. That's why we use the Starburst first. Because he is charged, he's allowed to reroll their attack once into the marginally better 2 strikes. Marauder defense in cover. He blocks it. L4 against armor 4. Oh, drops 1 health. His Null Cannon will go into the Nemesis in front of him with 5. Nemesis has defense 3, but has armor 6 against ranged attacks because he has 3 arc on him. Yep, he's hit, 4 strikes go through. POW 5 and 4 strikes got through, but again, he has armor 6 against a ranged attack. Wow. That's ridiculous. Okay, so that's 6. So that should have really hurt. That should have been 3. That should have been 3 of his health, but as it is, it's only 1. Perhaps more importantly, it dropped 1 of his arc off, so he's down to 2. The heavy fusion glaive got 1 arc, mat 4. This one's for the big finish, we hope. Only 4 strikes. Now Nemesis normally has 3 defense, but he gets 2 power die because he is flying and his opponent in melee is not. So 4 strikes versus... Oh, he blocked it. Reason they were really hoping for that one is the fusion glaive can inflict the system failure effect if he spikes after a hit, but now he can't. So we're down to just the shield. Mat 4 with the shield. Oh, that's not good. 2 strikes. As before, flying model is flying. And blocks it too. Alright, not much help from the Cypher cards right now, so we're going to move on to the gates. And unfortunately, we did not have enough space actually to bring out Squad 2, and instead preferred to bring out the Shooty Firebrand, along with Paladin Commander out of the other one. Wells will lead around and drop the gate in the same spot, again loading it with 3 arc. That wraps up Pulse Round 1. What an absolute cluster this is turning into, in the best of ways. So for scoring, the AC controls the objective closest to them, they'll get 1 point. ISA controls the objective closest to them, they'll get 1 point. Nobody controls the middle there, some very fortunate or unfortunate dice rolls, and that objective is contested between the 2 heavies. So 1-1, moving on to Pulse Round 2. We're going to roll to resolve corrosion on the Morningstar real quick. On a blank, it will expire, and if there's die, then he'll take that kind of damage. It expires. For the AC turn, they will charge the Vassal Reaver squad. Raxis himself will attempt to throw a cryo lock onto the Morningstar. Focus 4, no arc in the tank, because it's all on the board. 4 strikes, well done. Defense 3, cover from the barrel crate. And he blocks it. Runners up are going to be the Reavers. They are going to spike to use Phase Sequencer, which allows them to pass through structures and models as if they were not there. And they're going to phase right through this wall and into this open room, ending up here. Marauder will go next. He will stompy stomp up into the doorway, wedging himself there to protect his colleagues. He's going to call Shredder into the Morningstar, rolling for strafe. He gets 1 strafe. Attack against the Morningstar. 4 strikes. Morningstar behind the barrel crate. Blocks it. Next shot going to the Firebrand behind him, also behind the barrel crate. Going to hit. 2 strikes. Defense 3. And he's fine. A lot of bullets, but not a lot of impact. Warcaster will then use Displacement Index to push these guys all the way up into the corner for entirely nefarious cult reasons. Not anybody to pull out the gate because nobody's died yet. This is a really crowded map right now until something happens or somebody goes down. So let's move into ISA. ISA has no arc in the well in order to charge anybody, so we're going to jump straight to the Morningstar and Aggression Theorem for the first cipher card. And this can be Fusion Glaive into the Nemesis. 1 arc, map 4. Oh boy. I'm going to wager the Nemesis probably laughs at this. He does. Twice. With that in mind, we're actually going to activate the Firebrand next. You can try shooting the Immolator on his shoulder straight into the Nemesis. No arc, but rat 4. Ooh, very nice. 5 strikes. Nemesis defense 3. Only blocks 1, 4 strikes through. It's POW 5, but he is armor 5 because it's a ranged attack and he has arc on him. Oh boy, all right, let's count this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So exactly 2 of his health. Brings the Nemesis down to 2 health remaining and he is on fire. He's then going to lob his grenade launcher at the Marauder. Still rat 4, no arc. 3 strikes. Marauder is still shielded by Raxis. And blocks it. POW 3 hit against armor 4. Nothing. Without a whole ton of options, he's going to shoot the assault rifle, his final weapon, into the Scourge. Rat 4. 2 strikes. Scourge defense 3, also claiming cover from the barrel crate. And he blocks it. At the end of it, he will move shuffling sideways to block this doorway. Knock that little barricade out of the way. And from her position, Tari is going to shoot her shoulder cannon into the Marauder as they are really getting tired of him and would like him to go away. At 4 in the shoulder cannon. 3 strikes. Defense 2 with cover. Man, this guy just will not be brought down. And Tari will move up, try to engage in this little sort of a tussle for the objective. Final cipher card will be Impulse Inducer to just go ahead and rearm this shooty Firebrand. Just because this room wasn't crowded enough, all the ISA come out. Stabby Firebrand comes out of this gate. Squad 2 rushes out of that one, leaving it with 1 charge. Tari is going to drop a gate as far up as she can. I'm going to have to turn the camera off to measure. The problem is we're really running into kind of a bottleneck here. Like there's no way for the ISA to push in or out of this room, and same with the AC. But she was able to get a 2 arc gate dropped in this far corner. We'll see if anyone pays attention to it, given everything else that's going on. Just for hilarity's sake, to point out, this is an 8-inch square room, an 8-inch square room that now holds 5 Warjacks, a squad of solo, 2 Void Gates, and the most valuable objective right now, apparently. Moving into the AC turn, the Warcaster is going to put a single arc charge onto the Scourge, and is then going to tag him with one of my favorite ciphers, Ascension Catalyst. Ascension Catalyst gives him flight, very much like the Nemesis has, and even in the confines of the Lawgiver, he's going to shoot up Spider Monkey along the ceiling, terrifying, and then drop down right back there. The original plan, by the way, was actually to have the Nemesis make that play, but he's taken 3 points of damage and is on fire, so he's better served trying to contest objective 2 out here. And from his position, he's going to shoot his rocket pod first into squad 1. At 3, 1 arc charge. Beautiful hit. 6 strikes. 3 defense because the Aegis is not powered up right now, because nobody was expecting this one. And blocks 3. Power 4, 3 strikes going against armor 4, because this is a blast. Alright, lead guy's down. Guy directly next to him. He's fine, and the third guy is not fine. Main target removed, secondary target removed. He's going to put the force rod into Wells back there. Mat 4, 1 charge. 4 strikes. Wells defense 3. Oh, 4 strikes blocks it. That almost defends him enough to try to dump more weapons there, but that's not why he's here. He's going to put the nailer into the remaining squad. At 3, 1 charge. 4 strikes. Defense 3. 4 strikes, all right. ISA is pushing back against this little back row play there. All right, so it's going to be Wrecking Claw into the Firebrand next. Mat 4. Okay, could be better. Firebrand defense 3 against 3 strikes. Oh, 2 of them get through. Power 4 against armor 3. Okay, 1 health off. It's supposed to be Power 5 because of he got an arc. Okay, so 2 health off. There's 2 of the health off the Firebrand. Running out of room to put these little tokens in here. There we go. And he will spike because he hit with the Wrecking Claw to add an activation token to the Shooty Firebrand. Our next contestant is going to be Big Man Raxis himself, who is going to hover float in a creepy way, 5 inches, lining himself up with that gap in the doorway because he has a 10-inch spray attack, which he's going to reach through there and use to tag the Morning Star. The weapon is called the Soul Grinder, as if this guy wasn't spooky enough. Rat 4, 1 arc. Beautiful, 5 strikes. Spray weapons ignore cover, so no help from the barrel crate. Defense 3. Oh, 3 strikes get through. Power 4 weapon against armor 5 for the Morning Star. And it's enough to take a chunk off. Morning Star has lost 2 of its 4 health. But more importantly, Raxis is going to spike to use the... I'm looking at what it's called. The Phonotech Reclaimer. So he's going to spike and return a cipher card from the discard pile to his hand. To the surprise of approximately nobody, he is going to return Aggression Theorem to his hand. And they'll immediately play it on the Nemesis, Aggression Theorem there. He's going to use his Void Splitter. Now his Void Splitter is normally a range 8 power 4 weapon, but he can spike, which he'll do just now, in order to turn it into a 8-inch spray attack, which is going to go right down the commander and 2 of the enforcers. Void Splitter going against the commander, he's down to Rat 3 because he's on fire, but he still has 1 arc left. 1 strike. Commander defense. Blocks it. First enforcer. Better. 5 strikes. Defense 3. Oh, 2 of them get through. Against armor 3. Power 4. Got him. And his final shot. 2 strikes. Defense roll. Blocks it. Double blocks it. So he was hoping for something a little more spectacular than that. So it cost him 1 arc to drop 1 enforcer. So could be better, could be worse. There's nobody in the AC side who's not already on the board, so we're just going to go to the gate, which this squad will drop into this empty room with 2 arc. That closes out AC. Looking at the board, we've still got the Grafters out here just kind of playing cards with himself. Absolute bedlam here in the middle over the center objective. And the Scourge making a daring play for the back, taking out half of this squad and failing to do much else. So he was supposed to kind of do this big heroic charge back there. Got a couple points off the Firebrand, might be able to knock him down. Took out part of the squad, so let's see how it goes. Moving into ISA. It's a little locking effect from the claw is kind of a bummer because this would be a great time for that dude to turn around and just lay into the Scourge. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, and they've got bigger priorities going on right now. So the arc is going to go to the Morningstar, bringing him up to 2 arc. And they're also going to throw a divination algorithm on him for the starburst missiles and the little null cannon. And he's going to lead off the charge. He's going to swing his heavy fusion glaive into the Nemesis. Mat 4, 2 arc. That's what I'm talking about right there. 7 strikes. The Nemesis is still flying because it's always flying. So 2 red die bonus. Oh wow, only 1 strike gets through. Maybe that's all we need. House 6 against armor 3, 1 red die. Wow, only 1 point. Nemesis has now taken 4 points of damage and is on fire. This would drop any other heavy at this point. He's got 1 health left. Star gonna bash him with the shield and completely miss. It was incredibly disappointing. Maybe he'll throw his null cannon into him. Still unsure. For right now, starburst missiles are gonna go into the Marauder because Morningstar's still charged and he'll get the reroll. At 4, 2 arc rerolling if he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. We can do better than 2 strikes. Fires the missiles, again. Okay, that's better. 4 strikes. Since Raxis used his spike, he is not currently generating cover, so down to 2 defense. Still only 1 gets through. Missiles are POW 5 thanks to the divination algorithm, going against armor 4. Drop to dice. All right, want just enough to drop him. So an explosion finally clears his pathway into the AC side of the house. POW 5 hit going into the Weaver for being in the collateral little blast zone. They are armor 3. Oh, it hurts, but only 1 damage. Now we come to the big question, what to do with this null cannon. The null cannon is right now a POW 6 weapon, thanks to divination algorithm. And the juiciest targets are obviously the Nemesis, which is 1 health, so may be able to drop him. You can see Raxis, so maybe you can start on him, but Raxis is 3 health, armor 4. But again, he's a hero, so once he's dead, he's dead. And then of course we got Scourge and McScourge phase there in the back. So he's gonna think about his options for a second. He's gonna go into the Nemesis, just because that's a lot of hurt that could come at them that he might be able to stop right now. Coming in, Rat 4, 2 arc. Beautiful, 2, 4, 6, 8 strikes. Nemesis running defense 3. Only stops 3. And that's going to strip 1 arc, or his last arc. It means we only need to beat armor 3 on this many die, 5 red die with a POW 6 weapon. And it's done. Nemesis finally comes crashing to the ground and is out of the fight. So we're gonna pause there for just a second. Let us know in the comments what you thought of the Nemesis. This is not the best environment to show off his maneuverability, but overall I think he represented himself pretty well. Very, very hard-hitting unit. And with that work done, Morningstar and his remaining 2 health, we'll sort out the tokens here in a second. We're gonna come up and basically just block this entrance. And Wells is going to go as the only solo. He's going to swing his Null Hammer in a valiant smite thee into the Scourge before running for his life. Null Hammer on mat 3, 1 arc. Not a bad swing, little buddy. Defense 3 for the Scourge. 1 does get through. Null Hammer is a null weapon, so if the Scourge had any arc left, he would strip him, but doesn't. So, POW 4, going against armor 4. Wells, look at you, buddy. As Wells needs caps him for 1 point, and unfortunately he can't really fit through the doorway to escape, so he's going to go backwards instead. Yeah, slipping around the back here. Excellent. And thus valiantly aligned in his corner, he's going to throw Velocity Projector as the final cipher card. Focus 4, 1 arc in the well. Not bad. 6 strikes. Defense 3 in the Scourge. Oh wow, 5 strikes get through. That is going to slam him into this corner, so we'll get an extra red die. Wells may have just saved the day here. Let's find out here in a second. He's trying to break armor 4 with all this. 6 red die, POW 4. No, only gets 1 health down, but still. Just 1 whack with the Null Hammer and 1 well-placed Velocity Projector, and the Scourge is down to his last health. Both of the ISA gates are in play. We got a 1 arc there and that 2 arc still in the corner. But we've lost 3 enforcers, but all from different squads, so no one's available to come out. Start of the AC turn, the Warcaster is going to charge the Scourge with 1 arc. They have a secret weapon up their sleeve. A secret weapon is Impulse Inducer, so the Scourge is going to get to activate again with 1 arc. He wastes approximately 0 time storming down the hallway, trying to seize this incredibly valuable objective number 3. Force Rod into the nearest Paladin. Oh, this is going to sting. Paladin defense 3. Blocks 2, 5 strikes up. And he's slammed into a wall, so bonus red die. Speaking of die. So he just kind of goes away into a smear on the wall. Relentless Cortex means he gets to move up a couple inches. And he'll put the claw into the Aegis. The underground Aegis. Oh wow, you might. 1 strike. Just coming in defense 3. He's okay. Oh, and the Continuum, we call that a party foul, so he's going to open up with a nailer onto the Aegis. Rat 3, 1 arc. That's a lot of strikes. Defense 3. Yeah, 5 strikes get through. POW 3, 5 strikes. Armor 3. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant display of firepower. AC now owns this objective. That objective is worth 3 points, and the ISA has now 1 turn to get rid of him. Finally, his rocket pod will go back into Wells because he's still mad about the Null Hammer. Rat 3, 1 arc. Okay then. Wells is defense 3. Blocks it. It's a POW 4 blast damage against his armor 4 against blast damage. Alright, he's fine. Maybe fine with the ISA as in been in better positions before, because now he's on the objective. He's hanging on by a thread. He's got 1 health left, but they now own this objective. Solo play is going to be the Weaver, being very valiant. Scoot out just a little bit, and it's going to draw a spray line down the Morningstar and into the Commander. Rat 3 against the Morningstar. 4 strikes, not bad. Morningstar defense 3. 3 strikes got through. Really embarrassing, buddy, if you get dropped by a Weaver. He's got armor 5. 5, wow, all right. Drops 1 health. It's a Morningstar to his last point of health. And then she's gonna duck around here. Out of sight, out of mind. Final cipher card, Raxis is going to billow his cloak around his little sarcophagus and throw a pyrokinetic surge into the Morningstar, trying to drop it before it crosses that threshold. His focus 4 with 2 arc in the well. Maybe it'll work. 4 strikes. Defense 3 in the Morningstar. Oh, this could be it. Morningstar is now on fire and is facing a POW 3 with 3 red die against armor 5. He's alive by a hair that's on fire. Raxis douses him in flames and he keeps storming on at least 1 more step. From this gate here, we're gonna drop 1 arc, bring the Marauder back onto the field. And unfortunately, the AC have to close it off there because they do not have enough arc to summon the Nemesis back, and he's the only one who's currently not on the board. So, odds are they've kind of given up objective 2. That was quite a tug of war. But if the Scourge can stay alive, then they can probably hold on to objective 3, pull off 3 points there, 1 point there, and lead the ISA by 2. The ISA have 1 chance to prevent this. Let's see how they do. All right, here's the big showdown. We've got 2 opportunities after looking through all the strategies and the ciphers. ISA is going to take 2 gambles and see if they can bring it down. So first off, they're going to charge the Stabby Firebrain with 1 arc. And Wells is going to lead the charge, firing off an Instability Equation Blast into the Scourge as the opening gambit. Problem is, we're at focus 4 with no arc in the tank, so this is all we get. 2 strikes. Defense 3 on the Scourge. Oh, both strikes go through. POW 4, but we are trying to break armor 4, so here we go. He brings it down. Wells gets to be the hero of the day, filling the corridor with shrapnel and flame, bringing the Scourge down just before claiming it. And for those curious, the backup plan was going to be a Hail Mary with the Harbinger Cannon, which he can spike to ignore cover and line of sight. So with that in mind, Squad 2 is going to move up. They're basically the only ones without an activation token right now. And they will occupy Objective 2. Gate in the corner will shimmer and spit out squad 1. And ISA Warcaster will drop a gate here on the deployment zone. Loaded with 2. That closes out Pulse round 2. We'll resolve the fire here in just a second, see if the Morningstar is still on his feet. What a freaking gamble that was. So the Scourge wrecked face on the back there, but kind of ran up against a wall. Ended up getting brought down by Wells of all people with a hammer and 2 ciphers. Unbelievable. Rax is still holding his ground back here, but he's trying to run out of forces. The Grafter is still sitting quite contentedly on his objective. And these guys are no doubt up to no good in this empty room. So, we're going to resolve the fire. We'll move on to Pulse round 3. All right, points. So nobody's scoring objective 3 because everyone got wiped out down there. ISA gets 2 points for objective 2. AC gets 1 point for their objective. So it's going to be ISA leading by a single point going to the next Pulse round. Resolving the fire, if we see any strikes, the Morningstar goes down. He's alive. That's the second one he shrugged off. And to open up Pulse round 3, the AC Warcaster will charge. A little unit of Reavers right there. And we'll give them Reiteration Complex, giving them each 2 shots with their ranged weapons. For the solo, Raxis is going to go, getting behind this bit of cover to hopefully shield himself from the angry Warjacks coming through the door. And he's going to fire his Soul Grinder spray weapon, straight line between the Morningstar, this Enforcer, and since it is 10-inch range, all the way back to the Firebrand. He is Rat 4 against the Morningstar. 2 strikes. Morningstar defense 3. Blocks it. Rat 4 against the Enforcer. Come on. 3 strikes. Enforcer defense 3. Blocks it. Finally going for the Firebrand in the back. Only 1 strike. Defense 3. Wow, not a single casualty. I was really expecting more out of that. Okay. Back here with the Reavers, they're going to spike, unsurprisingly, to use their little phase sequencer. Get off them. And they're going to show up just past here in this little room, forming up like so. Their Nailers have 2 shots each because of Reiteration Complex, and they have no shortage of targets, so they're going to start with shooting at Wells. All Rat 3, first shot. 3 strikes. Wells defense 3. 1 gets through. Pal 3 weaponing is Armor 3 with 1 health. And Wells drops. And the Scourge of the, well, Scourge goes down. Still plenty of bullets to go around, so next shot is going to go into the Shooty Firebrand right in front of him, who also has 1 health left. 2 strikes. Defense 3. 1 gets through. Break Armor 3 on the Firebrand. And he's down 2. 2 bullets, 2 casualties. Reavers are cleaning house. Would not have seen that coming. With 4 shots still to go, they're going to put some rounds into this squad right up here. This is, well, squad 2. Let's see how they do. Number 3. 3 strikes. Defensive 3. 2 of them get through. Armor 3. These Reavers are cleaning house. 3 bullets, 3 kills. Shot number 4 into the last remaining Paladin there. 3 strikes again. Defense 3. Both of them, all 3 of them get through. Not even sure why I'm rolling dice at this point. Yeah. 4 bullets, 4 kills. Next shot is going to go into the Paladin Commander. Number 5. Okay, only 1 strike. Defense 3. And it gets through anyways. I'm gonna break Armor 3. And they do. Number 6, final shot into the Commander. 2 strikes. Defense 3. And she blocks it. For those keeping score at home, that was 5 wounds out of 6 bullets from freaking Vassal Reavers. So at the end of that storm, Wells is down, Firebrand is down, both the remainders of Squad 2 are down, and the Paladin Commander's at half health. Unfreaking believable. And finally, to close us out, Raxis is going to throw Pyrokinetic Surge onto the Morning Star because they have like 3 arc in the well. Focus 4, 3 arc in the well. Good number, 6 strikes. Defense of 3. 5 strikes to get through. I think this is it. Armor 5, but we got POW 3 with 5 red die. And he's down. Morning Star finally collapses into flaming wreckage. Scourging McScourge face is coming out of this one, which will collapse it. And the Reavers are going to drop it back in here with 5 arc. Outstanding turn by the AC. They have completely cleared up this room for the most part. All the big threats anyways. Managed to get the Reavers within striking distance of objective 3. Grafter, still over here. He's having a Lunchable or something. And we're doing pretty good on this side. Let's push it over to ISA, turn 1. ISA Warcaster is going to charge Taria with 1 arc. And play Ascension Catalyst on the Firebrand. Taria is going to shuffle up 6 inches. Reaching here, getting a nice little stare down with Raxis. And her 1 health. And she will start with her swingy sword. At 4 with an arc charge. 4 strikes. Raxis is only defense 2 because he's a floating sarcophagus. Doesn't block anything. It's all about 4s. We got 4 power die, a POW 4 weapon. He has armor 4 and 3 health. So just like a Marauder. And not a scratch on him. Somewhat intimidated, but not to be outdone. She's going to shoot her shoulder cannon into the Marauder. At 4, 1 arc. 2 strikes. Defense 2 on the Marauder. And 1 gets through. Only POW 3 against armor 4. And doesn't do anything. Last is going to hit the gate, which is armor 5. Doesn't do anything to that either. Well, the hope was that that was going to be a nice triumphant play to sort of put some pressure on the AC's back objective, but Raxis is having none of it. So the Ascension Catalyst Firebrand is going to go next. His job is to sweep around here and try to secure that back objective. And with 8 inches of movement, he can only make it this far. So he's not on the objective, but hopefully he can chop enough arc off that gate that the Nemesis won't be the next thing to come through. His sword into the gate, he is Rat 4 with 1 charge. 4 strikes is good. Gate defense 3. Only blocks 2. His sword is POW 5. He's trying to shave off 2 arc from this gate. That's the goal, to get down to 3. 2 would be better, so they can't just patch it up. But let's see. Armor 5 takes 1 off. Gate goes down to 4, which is the minimum needed to summon the Nemesis. Going in with the shield bash. Okay, 3 strikes is good. 8 defense 3. Oh, blocks it all. Alright, so here's his unpleasant situation. He's only got the Harbinger cannon left. Now, he can bring them down to 3 arc, but then they can just charge it with 1 to start their turn, and then bring out the Nemesis anyways. It'll cost him an arc, but that's just the price of business. Or he can shoot his Harbinger cannon into this squad. It is a strafe weapon, and if he's lucky, he can maybe take some of the pressure off. So in the hopes that he'll get some reinforcements through there soon, he's going to put Harbinger cannon into the squad. How many strafe attacks? None. That's not good news. We're at 4. Okay, 4. Defense 3. And only 1 gets through. POW 4 only has to break armor 2. And just barely, he's down. First contestant is down. But what's unfortunate about that is that means that the gate is still up and that squad is still there, so he'll be dealing with that next turn. Final software card, they're going to put Plexus Densifier onto squad 1. It'll last for the rest of the pulse round, which is the rest of the game. So their speed is down to 5, but they're up to 5 armor. From the 1 arc gate arrives Wells himself. For the 2 arc gate arrives the Shooty Firebrand. Elected to go with him instead of the squad 2, which may be a mistake. We'll find out. Arya's going to make one final bold play for the back row, dropping an arc or a void gate with all the remaining 5 arc on top of it. There we have it, a very tense position for the ISA. They kind of hold room 2, but they really weren't able to do the damage they wanted on that back row. And now they can be pretty sure that Nemesis is coming through that gate, and he's going to be right next to their most valuable objective. Meanwhile, Scourgy McScourgeface is still here, and the AC is pretty comfortable holding their position. Moving into AC, turn 2. AC Warcaster is going to put a charge onto the Scourge. And for this squad, they're going to play Displacement Index, and they're going to kind of move them up, try to blockade this door to keep Shooty Guy from coming out too soon. With the 3-inch reposition and the 2-inch deploy on the squad, they can effectively blockade that door, at least for the moment. Scourge is going to rush up. He's going to count on his Relentless Cortex to get him through here. Opening up with the, say, the Force Rod on the first guy. At 4 with an Arc Charge. 2 strikes. Defense 3. And 1 gets through. That will slam him into his buddy behind him, so in addition to the 1 strike, we're getting an extra power die, and he's powered up with 1 arc, so his weapon is now POW 4. On the Force Rod, trying to break armor 5 because of Plexus Densifier. Armor 5 broken. He slammed into, takes a collateral hit of just the POW 4 from the Force Rod. Again, breaking armor 5, maybe. Oh, so close. Thank you, Plexus Densifier. His Relentless Cortex will allow him to advance up, so we will simulate him being in that doorway. Wrecking Claw into the next guy. Alrighty, maybe he got stuck in the door. Defense 3. Yeah, that squad don't care. Beating with the Nailer. 3 strikes. No cover, because he's like a centimeter away. Blocks it. And weapon of last resort, firing the Talon rocket pod at point blank range. Rad 3. Only 2 strikes. Defense 3. He blocks it too. 4 in the rocket pod, but going against armor 6 because armor 3 plus Plexus plus 2 plus compound armor. So POW 4 trying to beat armor 6. Not even close. There's some really ballsy hold the line action going on in this doorway right here. Marauder's going to take point as the solo activation, moving up to engage with Taria. 4 with his Crushy Claw. 2 strikes. Defense 3 with her, please don't Crushy Claw me. And she's very convincing. His Shredder is going to go into this squad out here and try to clean them out of the way so that Scourge can come out and take the objective. Strafe attacks. 1 strafe. Attack, Rat 4. 3 strikes. Defense 3. 1 gets through. Oh, 4, but again, we're going against armor 5. And he can't do it. Strafe attack, hitting the guy in the doorway. 5 strikes. Defense 3. Blocks 3. All 4 with 2 strikes he got through, going against armor 5. And he just barely manages. He shall be long remembered as the great hero of the doorway. Held back the Scourge of all Scourges and defended the honor of... Alright, let's get back to the game. The Weaver there is actually going to throw a Velocity Projector into the Void Gate. Very optimistic there. 1 arc in the tank, focus 4. Not bad, 3 strikes. 8 defense 3. Oh wow, alright. 3 strikes get through and the gate will be shoved against the wall. The gate finds to be very rude. So 4 red die, 4 POW, armor 5. Really, they want to see at least 10 here, but they'll take what they can get. Coming at you. Alright, they get 1 arc off. Really, it pretty closely mirrors what's happening across the hall, so we'll see how this one breaks out. And the gate spits out the Nemesis. He's in a slightly different spot because it's really hard to make him fit into this little corridor. All right, that's AC turn 2. They're really getting kind of a stonewall going on here. Biggest hope now, they're trying to make a play for objective 2, but the Scourge is having a hard time getting through the squad. They need to hold objective 1, and they've got plenty of bodies back here for it. They've been pretty good about keeping the ISA at bay. But their big play is going on up here, making a move for objective 3, which could net them 3 points and possibly the win. So let's move into ISA turn 2. All right, so in the name of maximum lethality, the arc is going to go to the Shooty Firebrand in this compartment. And the Stabby Firebrand is going to get Annihilation Vector, so he can immediately make an attack against an enemy model within 1 inch. And you can guess who he's going to go for. He is Mat 4 with 1 arc. 3 strikes might not do it. So he might not do it because the Nemesis is a flying model and that was a melee attack, so he gets his bonus die for being a flyer. So 3 strikes versus... Oh, not even close. Doubled and then some. A huge bummer because Annihilation Vector against a Warjax inflicts the system failure, which would have been really nice. So from inside his compartment, Shooty Firebrand is going to open up onto the Reavers because he needs them out of the way if he's going to get out of there. Going with the bayonet first. 3 strikes. Defense 3 on the Reaver. 1 gets through. Counterbreak armor 2. And he can't. Oh man. Assault rifle, same dude. 3 strikes. Defense 3. 2 of them get through that time. L4 with 2 red die. How many strikes does it take to kill a freaking Reaver? Conveniently just 2. You guys are selling your position dearly. Shooting the Immolator at the other one, which seems kind of like overkill. 2 strikes. Defensive 3. And he blocks it. Weapon of last resort is a grenade launcher, which is going to end up bombing the Firebrand too, but you know what? He's running out of options right now. Grenade launcher coming at him. All right, 5 strikes. I would say this is probably going to go through, but I've been watching the same game you have, so who knows. Defense 3. 2, all right, 3 strikes go through. 3 strikes, POW 3, armor 2, and he's down. Blast will hit the other Firebrand at armor 4, and he's fine. They certainly did their job, as he'll finally clear that out and be able to exit the room. He can't really advance any closer, so this is really the only spot he's going to fit. Now here's the problem. The current rack for the ISA does not include either Impulse Inducer or Aggression Theorem, or really anything that's going to let these guys attack. So they're just going to frantically hope to get one of those on the 3rd round and be able to drop this guy. The solo move, our Scourge of Scourges, is going to step up where the squad had failed and wedge himself into the doorway. You shall not pass. Matt 3 with his null hammer. Matt 3 with his null hammer. 1 strike. Defense 3 on the Scourge. He blocks it. Final cipher card is going to be Displacement Index, moving this guy back behind the barrier crate. He's going to hope very, very much that Wells can hold. It's turn 2, so there's no point in dropping a new gate, so let's see what we can do with 4 arc. And in a plot twist, instead of the Morningstar, which is going to be an absolute beast to try to fit into this area, we're going to deploy Squad 2 with their Aegis, technically leaving 1 arc on the gate. And their job, they will have 1 turn to take this objective from the Grafter and survive the Wrath of Raxis. The Rathus. They're going to discard Temporal Cycle because they really, really want to get something that can have something happen over there. So in a rare turn of events, I'm going to show you guys the deck draws. Currently the ISA have Arcane Synthesis from Reiteration Complex, so we're going to draw up their next cards. We've got Aggression Theorem, all right. So that'll buy us 1 attack, maybe. Momentum Calibrator. Really want to see Impulse Inducer in here. And Velocity Projector. Well, this could be better, could be worse. So let's see what they can do with it. Maybe they can at least contest the objective. Really, really nice if they had a guy named Raxis who could let them just pull a card out of their discard pile. Oh well. So moving into the final turn here. It's gonna be AC turn 3. AC comfortably holds objective 1, but they're about to get a lot of pressure. Maybe they'll try to resolve that. They're in position to probably take objective 3, but they still have to negotiate their way over to 2. They are trailing by 1 point, so let's see what AC can do, moving into their final turn. So after a lot of deliberation, and I mean a lot of deliberation on what the AC could do, they're gonna try something suitably bold and kind of shenanigans. Gonna start with Raxis, powering up his little cover shield, and firing a Null Collider into the newly arrived Paladin squad. He's going to specifically aim for the one out front. He's got 4 arc in the tank. Focus 4. Wow! Raxis, everybody. 12 strikes, of which 9 get through. I know I don't have to roll this many die, but I love rolling die. That's dead. Sinister plan takes shape. First guy goes down. Eva is going to go next, firing her Psycho Hood through all three of these guys. There's only Rat 3 and they are Squad 2, so let's see how well this works out. Pretty good on the first one. And 3. I'm sorry, we don't have time for your nonsense. The Aegis in the middle. 2 strikes. Defense 3. Blocks it. And the third guy. 4 strikes. Defense 3. They all get through. Echo Hood is PAL 4. He's dead. So all that firepower, still only half the squad gone. And remembering that he is part of this fight, the Grafter is going to move up, staying within 1 of the objective, moving up just in range to take a swing at the Aegis. At 3, you're doing one thing in this game, try to do it right. Probably not going to work, but you never know. Yeah, it's blocked. All right, so at the end of that, AC still holds this objective as long as the Grafter can stay alive against these two. ISA still holds this one. We still got this issue over here, and we're actually going to use our second Cypher card to Aggression Theorem the Nemesis. Firing his whatever phage cannon into the, I'll say the shooty firebrand. 2 strikes. Defense 3. Blocks it. But that's not why we did that. We did that because he has the Battlecruiser Cortex and he just executed a ranged attack. So he will slide 1 inch. He has completely filled up this hallway, at least enough that the firebrands cannot get by him, and he now holds objective 3. That closes out the AC turn. They are currently holding 4 points of objective versus the ISA's 2. So it's up to the ISA to try to break the hold, either up there with the 5 health Nemesis, or somehow get this Grafter out of the way. Let's move on to ISA. Somewhat unsurprisingly, they're going to charge Squad 2 because all our hopes and dreams are on these guys right now, and drop Reiteration Complex on them. So here's the plan. If these guys can bring down the Grafter, they will have a clean shot to walk over to the objective. And if they do that, it will be 3 points to 3 points for this turn, which, since the ISA is leading by 1, will give them a bare win. So let's move in. We've got 4 bullets, 1 Grafter. Come on down. Aegis is going to take the first 2 shots. So shot number 1 with 1 arc charge. No, it's going to be one of those days. Shot number 2. Can't really afford to waste bullets here, buddy. 2 strikes. Grafter is in cover thanks to Raxis. He blocks it. Out in number 2. 2 strikes. Grafter in cover. Blocks it. Final shot. This could do it. 2 strikes. 2 strikes against. All 4 blocked. It's absolute unit holding this hallway. We're gonna have to kind of skip to the end because there's really only 1 play left, and it's not even mathematically possible, I don't think. But we're gonna throw Aggression Theorem and see if Sworded McBoy can stab the Nemesis. 1 arc charge, Mat 4. Okay, 6 strikes. Flying Boy, extra defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 1 gets through. This is not going to be enough. L5 with 1 strike. He only takes off 1 health. So in a clutch move, the Grafter holds the line and the objective, giving the AC 1 point there, 3 points for the Nemesis, 4 points total to the ISA's 2, barely squeaking out a win by 1 point, which for Avarice means that his captors are clearing the field, and Raxis starts to come over as this field powers down.
Take Avarice back to the gate. You will deal with him on the surface.
O Raxis, is the air not now thick with arc?
Avarice, what did you do?
Turn the field back on, Paladin. It is safer.
And on that mildly spooky note, we will let you guys go for the week. As a reminder, next episode is going to be a down week. And then the episode after that will pick right back up, episode 6, moving into the second half of Jericho Reach. Thanks for watching.